Here are 2 packs of Mirrodin Besieged. Alright, let's see what the first one has. So we have the comments. I'll review them after I've laid them out. I'm not going to read them in detail. Of course, this set has a lot of artifacts. Not as many as Scars of Mirrodin, the main set. This is the second set, smaller one. Some infect creatures, or enchantment. Let's see, here we go. Now we're going into the uncommons. Treasure Mage, Campus Legion, Vidalcan Anatomist, a Bone Horde, which I have, then one of these rules tip cards, and a land. Let's see what the second booster pack has. Razorfield Rhino, a Golem, nice for a tribal if you really like golems. Ichor Wellspring, I remember it being played a lot online. Another infect creature. That's a rare Galvanoth. I think it's a junk rare, probably. Germ token, forest. And I'll do a slow review going backwards. So let's look at Galvanoth. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant or sorcery, you can cast it without paying its mana cost. That can be useful. A 2/2 for 4 flesh-eating imp. It's got infect. It will come in late in the game. The better infect creatures are really the ones that land quickly and start hitting hard. So you can get your 10 poison counters in before your opponent has a chance to really think about what they're doing. When Ichor Wellspring enters the battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. So this is a nice cantrip. It'll cost you 2 mana. That's not too bad. Bright Widow is a 4-drop, 2/4 with reach and infect. That's reasonable. It's sort of a mid-game. In the case of a green infect deck, you can actually ramp the mana pretty well. So I see that being more useful. Corrupted Conscience is an enchantment aura, and it gives a creature infect. That could be useful, but it's a 5-drop. It's pretty heavy. Leonin Relic Warder, a 2/2/2. That's pretty good, and it's got ability. So when it enters the battlefield, you may exile target artifact or enchantment. Seems like something that would work well in an artifact-heavy format, such as Block Constructed for Scars of Mirrodin, or even Mirrodin. Oculus. When Oculus is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you may draw a card. Not too bad. It's a 2 for 1/1. Phyrexis is another enchantment, and it gives... Is this the same one we had before? Let me see, because I thought we had an enchantment that gave... Oh, here we have it. So actually, this is a nice comparison. So we've got a black enchantment aura at 2 that gives infect. And then the equivalent in white is a 5-drop. So that's interesting, that contrast. Spread the sickness, destroy target creature, then proliferate. Good in a green-black token deck. Quicksilver Geyser, return up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owners' hands. It's like 2 Vapor Snacks, but boy, at 5-drop, that's pretty heavy. No wonder it's common. Nat Hazar Lizard. It's a 6/5/4. Sacrifice an artifact. Nat Hazar gains trample until end of turn. In the great tradition of not so useful red creatures. Red is full of them, I'm sorry to say. Koth's Courier. Human Rogue. 3/2/3. It's got Forest Walk. And I think if I remember correctly, when Forest Walk, it can only be blocked by somebody controlling a forest or a blue card. I forget exactly how it goes. Razorfield the Rhino has Metalcraft. Nice artifact creature. 6 for 4/4. It's got Metalcraft, so even though it's a heavy drop, I think you can do something with it. Now, Bone Horde, I think, looks very useful to me. It's only a 4-drop as an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards. In some sort of an eternal format, or even in the standard where you had Dark Ascension, a graveyard heavy set, you could have really pumped your graveyard and played this. Hexblade Golem is a heavy 7/5/7. Not too bad. Then we've got Vidalcan Anatomist. It's got an additional ability. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. You may tap or untap that creature. I like that. You can either tap it or untap it. That could be useful. And Kemba's Legion has Vigilance in the great tradition of white creatures, but oh my god, a 7-drop. Wow, that's a lot. Most formats don't allow you to ever get that far unless you have a game-ending card, and that is not it. Priests of Norn, a creature, a 3/1/4, basically almost a wall. It's got Vigilance and Infect, but it's only hitting for 1, so you're only going to get 1 poison counter out of this baby. Mercier, I think it's useful. When it's put into the graveyard, you put a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token onto the battlefield. Treasure Mage, it's got a really long description for an uncommon. Every time I see one of these big paragraphs, I think junk rare. So when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 6 or greater, like the Golem we just talked about. Reveal it and put it into your hand. So you can get a fatty artifact out of your library out of this. So it's a kind of tutor for a heavy. Unnatural Predation is an instant. The target creature gains trample. And +1/+1, and it's a 1-drop. That's not too bad. Then Phyrexes. I think it's the same enchantment we had before. We've done this one before. Frantic Salvage, another instant. Put any number of target artifact cards from your graveyard on top of your library and draw a card. That's a nice cantrip. That could be useful. I think we're getting down to the end. Caustic Hound, when it's put into the graveyard, each player loses 4 life. I think it's a nice creature to play at the end, but it's a 6-drop. It's a 4/4, so if your opponent has less life than you do and you don't mind losing 4, you can actually use it to finish the game. Gus Skimmer, it's got a blue ability even though it's an artifact. It gains flying until end of turn if you play 1 blue mana. 2/2 for 1, that's not bad. I think that reads useful to me. Loxodon Partisan and a common. It's got Battle Cry, so when it attacks, each other creature gets +1/+0. If you got a bunch of white weenies on the board, I could see this card being useful. Then Concussive Bolt, it's a 4 damage for a 5 with Metalcraft. It doesn't fit well into one of these really aggro red decks, but maybe in a red deck that's combined with something like green, where you can slow down the game and build mana. Turn the Tide, creature your opponents control get -2/-0 till end of turn. As a 2-drop, that can be useful.